More now on the attack on Iran, a mix of support and condemnation after the U.S. and Israel launched that sweeping military campaign against Iran, killing the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei.
Yeah, the strike has sent shockwaves through the Middle East and around the world, prompting fears of rapid escalation as governments respond to this unprecedented moment here.
We have team coverage from across the region this morning. Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell in Tel Aviv, Israel. Chief International Correspondent James Longman from Istanbul, Turkey. And ABC's Foreign Correspondent Marcus Moore in Doha, Qatar. So let's start in Israel. Ian, tell us the latest on the reaction and situation in Israel right now, as it's been a long night for you there.
Yeah, a long day yesterday, a long night, and it's continued today. I think we're witnessing momentous change in the Middle East. It's a region now consumed with the flames from the US-Israeli operation in Iran. Iranian state TV confirming the death of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Spontaneous scenes of celebration in Iran as civilians cheered the death of a man who oversaw years of oppression and brutality and the death of thousands of unarmed protesters last month. But in a sign of the deep divisions in the country, tens of thousands also mourning his passing, the crowds again chanting death to America. US and Israeli attacks reportedly leaving at least 1,000 dead, or certainly hundreds, one strike hitting a girls' school inside Iran, according to state media. We're now getting more astonishing detail, though, of those very first moments of the operation yesterday morning. Israeli military officials saying the opening strike killed 40 senior leaders and commanders in Iran, as well as the Ayatollah, in the first minute. A sign that this mission is above all about regime change. The IDF saying it's creating the military and operational conditions for overthrowing the Iranian regime. Iran's military, though, vowing revenge, and the response has been furious. Iranian missiles striking every country in the Gulf, as well as Iraq and Cyprus and here in Israel. A direct hit on a residential building near Jerusalem this morning, wounding at least 24 critically. And finally, I think there are questions this morning about what comes next in Iran. Taking out the leadership is one thing, but removing the regime, much, much different, and likely will take longer. Guys?
Yeah, questions and the details still coming in. Ian, thanks. Let's bring in James, monitoring world reaction now from Turkey. James, good morning.
Yeah, where Iran said they would respond, and boy, are we seeing it in this region. We use the word unprecedented a lot in this business, but it is extraordinary to see just how many countries across the Gulf have been struck by Iranian drones and missiles. We're talking Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Jordan, Iraq, Oman, the country that was mediating those now failed talks. And the Iranians are trying to strike at US military personnel. There are some 35,000 across the region. There are US bases in many of these countries too. Extraordinary also to see strikes in the UAE, in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. These are major hubs for commerce, for trade, but also for transport. Some of the world's biggest airports are now paralyzed. They cannot operate because of these drones and missiles coming in. US embassies and diplomatic missions are also in the firing line here. The Karachi, the US consulate there in Pakistan, has been stormed. Hearing reports of protests outside the Green Zone in Baghdad, where the US embassy is located. So all of this is why the world leaders and the United Nations are calling for restraint. They're asking for Israel, the United States and Iran to come back around the negotiating table. They're worried about a wider regional conflict. But I've got to tell you, that is exactly what it looks like is already happening. Gio?
Yeah, truly unreal to see those images. James, thank you for your reporting there. And now to Marcus in Qatar, where the U.S. Embassy had advised Americans to shelter in place following those strikes. Marcus, what are you hearing?
Well, Gio, certainly the ripple effects of this situation are being felt across the region this morning. In Doha, debris from a missile intercept caused a fire outside the city. And this is something that we've been seeing across the region here. We're also seeing new images from overnight showing missile intercepts that caused explosions that lit up the night sky. And some of these intercepts that we witnessed yesterday shook the building where we are. We'd heard from a diplomat who was briefed on the situation, saying that Iran launched more than 70 missiles and drones at Qatar. And this morning, as you just heard James noting, we are seeing a travel mess worsen for some. The airspace is closed across much of the region. People are stuck at airports in Dubai and here in Doha, unsure of when they'll be able to fly out. And this certainly a situation that we'll be continuing to watch as this situation develops. Janae.
70 missiles fired at Qatar alone, Marcus. Our thanks to you, Ian, and James for your reporting.